Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to our beloved Dr. Ifan NAJIHAH. We are from BA2423B and now we are going to present our scenario and sensitivity analysis. And now I'm going to explain regarding the introduction. After Dessert is a startup dessert business located at Petaling Jaya. This business was established in 2022 after Dessert sell chocolate chip cookies that suit Malaysian tongue. The reason why we conduct this scenario and sensitivity analysis is to make a better decision in order to achieve our business goal. Firstly, in this analysis, we have to do the assumption regarding the product produced. Second, we have to do the profit-based model in order to determine whether we should increase or decrease the demand, price, unit cost, and quantity produced to achieve a good amount of profit. Next, we also run an analysis regarding the markdown pricing. A price markdown is a reduction in the selling price of retail product that is done on purpose. It used to increase the product's velocity. And lastly, is conducting the break-even decision in order to determine whether determine the suitable production volume. Thank you.
As explaining of the assumption of our chocolate chip cookies, our shop located in the city in Petaling Jaya with a fixed rental of 350 ringgit. We sell our product at a price of 15 ringgit Malaysia to be compared with other competitors in the market of 20 ringgit. It is an affordable and a reasonable price to be sold to the consumer. As calculated, our product per unit costs only 7 ringgit 70 cents. To be compared cost of purchasing from supplier of 12 ringgit. It is a high amount to get more profit by repacking a product from supplier to ours. Furthermore, we have a fixed cost amounting 1,000 ringgit that include rental, labor cost with 30 days of working and utilities. We also put a discounted rate of clearance sales and intermediate sales of 40% and 20%. Difference between these two sales as clearance sales help reduce excess inventory in store, help minimize financial impact of products, as intermediate to offer diversity to other market outlets for specific buyer for resale. As production of chocolate chip cookies for a month only took 650 units, to summarize, month revenue of chocolate chip cookies product was 7,000 ringgit Malaysia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Miss IRFAH. So my name is AKMAL FAHMI bin MOHAMMAD ZAMRI. So I will be explaining about the profit model. So as for the profit model, for the best scenario, after calculating all the incurred costs, so the profit that we will make based on our assumption is RM1,495 ringgit, which is not sufficient because our target is RM4,700 ringgit. So we implemented two ways in order for us to get the target model, which is one-way table and two-way table. So the most suitable way to get the target profit is by using the two-way table, which is by changing the demand from 5,000 units to 7,000 units and lower down the unit cost from RM7 ringgit 70 cents to RM5 ringgit 70 cents. So therefore the profit that we will get after being revised is RM5,045 ringgit. Okay, so basically the unit cost cannot be lower than the RM5 ringgit 70 cents even though we buy in bulk, because the raw materials are quite expensive nowadays as the raw materials cost is increasing rapidly. Okay, so moving on to the next one, which is the profit model for the worst scenario. So as for the profit model for the worst scenario, the profit that we will get based on our assumption is negative RM305 ringgit, which means we have to bear losses. Okay, so obviously it is not sufficient because our target is RM1000 ringgit, at least for the worst case scenario. So the best way to solve this issue is by changing the demand from 380 units to 400 units and lowering the quantity produced from 650 units to 500 units. So the profit that we will get after being revised is RM1150 ringgit. So since our company is a small business enterprise, we cannot cater to a large amount of demand, as we are still trying to improve the way we run our business before expanding them to a larger scale. So as much as we want to make maximum profit, but we have to take into consideration our ability to cater the needs of the customers.
Thank you, Akmal. My name is AIEDEEL bin Abdul Jalil, and now I will continue with the markdown pricing model. So basically, markdown pricing model show you what are the total revenue you will get if you set your intermediate discount and clearance discount. For this slide, I will show you what are the data that needed to generate markdown pricing model. So the first thing is the price of your product. In this case, the price of chocolate chips cookies is RM15. The inventory is 50 per month. Selling season are 2, since 1 day for intermediate discount and 1 day for clearance discount. The rest of the days we call as days at full retail, and for this business they choose 20% for intermediate discount and 40% for clearance discount. For the second table, it shows what will happen to the average daily sales if we apply 20% discount. The average daily sales will increase 10% from 18 to 20. For the next thing, which is demand function parameters, we use two types of function: intercept function and slope function. The value of intercept function is 26, means whatever happened to the price, the sale will stay at 26. And the value of slope is negative 0.5, meaning here whenever the business increase their price, the demand will start drop, but not to large amount. So if the business want to increase their price, they can do so, but don't set too high. For the next slide, it shows the model of markdown pricing model. Based on the previous data, we could calculate the revenue of business when they sell their product at normal price, which is 15 ringgit in 28 days, and the revenue of full retail sales are 7,500 ringgit. For the discount sales, the business applies 20% discount, which change the price to 12 ringgit, and they only did this once a month, which is only 1 day. And the discount revenue they receive are negative 6,128.57 ringgit. For the last sale, which is clearance sales, the business apply 40% discount to their product and change the price to 9 ringgit for 1 day, and they be able to generate 546.43 ringgit, which resulting the total revenue 1,917.86 ringgit. Next, I will continue with the scenario summary. The function of scenario summary is to show what will happen to the total revenue after visit when they change their intermediate discount. Based on the table, personally, we will advise after visit to increase their intermediate discount rate from either 30% until 60%, up to them, because this action will generate higher total revenue compared to the current total revenue. If the company choose to increase their rate to 60%, then they will be able to gain 4,982.14 ringgit of total revenue. We also would advise after visit to not lower their discount rate to 10%, since it provides lesser total revenue. For the scenario summary too, it's a little bit different from scenario summary, since it's not only examine what will happen to the total revenue if they change intermediate discount rate, but what will happen if they change clearance discount rate and inventory level too. Personally, we will advise after visit to lower their inventory level from 50 to 47, but don't set until 40. then increase intermediate discount from either 30% until 60% and increase their clearance discount to 60%, since it will boost up total revenue. Also, we will not advise after dessert to take the first two table since it provide lower total revenue.
Hi, next I, Muhammad Zarif, will present about the outsourcing decision. Outsourcing decision that we assume outsourcing, what we want to prove and decision we want to make. There are several factors that we can consider before making the outsourcing decision, such as cost savings, pricings, the ability to meet deadlines, and minimal supervision. They have two models which are manufactured in-house and purchased from suppliers. As we can see, the best decision that we can choose is manufactured. This is because the unit cost for manufactured in-house is lower than purchased from another supplier. The total manufacturing cost if we produce on our own is Rm6,005 ringgit. Meanwhile, if we decide to purchase from a supplier, the total purchase cost will be 7,800. The difference between the cost of manufacture and purchase from the supplier is about negative Rm1,795 ringgit, which means the total amount that we can save if we produce on our own then purchase from the supplier. However, the outsourcing decision too explains if our company wants to outsource but still can generate profit. The fixed cost that we can assume will be constant of Rm1,000 ringgit. By using run test what if analysis, the unit cost will change from Rm12 ringgit to Rm9 ringgit and 8 cents, which is little bit cheaper and at the same time to generate profit. The new manufacturing cost is Rm6,005 ringgit and the total purchase cost will be 5,905 ringgit. So, we can conclude that if our company wants to generate profit from outsourcing, we have to reduce the unit cost.
Thank you, Mama Zarif. Hi, my name is HIDAYAH and I will present about the break-even decision. Break-even is all about understanding the link between pricing, volume, and expenses. Price is how much we charge for our goods and services, while volume is how much we sell, and expenses are how much it costs to do so. We can make more efficient financial decisions if we understand how they change in connection to another. Next, to utilize break-even analysis to better understand your finances, follow these 3 basic steps. For the first basic step is to categorize your charges based on how they behave. Are they fixed or variable? The second step is to compute your break-even point, and the last one step is to utilize this knowledge as tool to make smarter business decisions. However, to achieve the break-even point, the cost difference of total manufacturing cost and total purchase cost must be 0, which means that both total costs must be the same. The production volume will also change from 650 units to 232.55 units or 233 units to complete the break-even decision. In production levels, knowing how many units must be sold in order to turn a profit might assist a company in planning production levels. The break-even point can be used to forecast what equipment and personnel will be required. That's all from me. Thank you.
In the conclusion, for the profit model of the best scenario, it is best if we increase the demand and lower the cost of unit price. Meanwhile, for the worst scenario, to achieve the target of 1,000 ringgit, we need to increase the demand of product and reduce the quantity produced. Next, For the markdown pricing, we have decided to provide the intermediate discount for 20% and clearance discount for 40%. And as a result, the business still managed to earn a profit of RM1,970.86. This business should manufacture the product rather than purchase from supplier since the unit costs more cheaper. The break-even decision is to reduce the production volume from 650 units to 233 units. Thank you.